Hey there, my friends. I wanted to take a minute out and talk a little bit about my adventure, my journey with electric vehicles. So I've gone from a gas car, I was a big truck, F-150 kind of guy. If I wanted a gas-saving vehicle, I would get a Honda Accord, that type of lifestyle. And I recently purchased a Tesla X Plaid, and I've had it for about 2.5 years. And I just sold it recently, and now I'm back to driving my truck and my Honda Accord, living in the world of gasoline again. And I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the things that I noticed, maybe for some of you that are contemplating getting an electric car, and the good things and the bad things about it. So I will say this: you do a lot of forgiving of the flaws that electric cars have, because you own the electric car, you have it, so you don't really have a choice. You got to live with the things it does that are annoying, because you have no other choice. And the biggest one of those, of course, that you hear about all the time is charging, and how they're not always local, and you got to drive so far to find one, and they take so long, up to 45 minutes, depending on what your charge is when you get there. Like if you're at 1%, you pull up to a charging station, you're going to have to accept the fact that you're going to be there a minimum of 40 to 50 minutes while it charges. So you walk away, you find some place to eat, you get something to eat, and then you go get your car and you leave. And you say that like it's part of your lifestyle and there's nothing wrong with it. And there is nothing wrong with it. But it is a huge change in your regimen, in your lifestyle. Now that I'm back into a gas-powered car, I have to remind myself to look at the gas gauge, because you go so long without needing to refuel. With an electric car, you will be doing that 2 to 3 times a day, depending on how much driving you do. You don't get to drive and then go home and forget and then drive the next day. You have to charge. You will run out of juice if you're not constantly charging your electric car all day, every day. There are no driving for 2 days. There are no driving for a whole day without needing to charge. That's a gas car. Gas, depending on how much you drive, you could go 3, 4, 5 days without needing to refuel, depending on how good of the gas mileage the vehicle you're driving is. In my truck, I probably, if I go to Austin, I live in the hill country, about an hour outside of Austin, Texas, and I will sometimes drive in my gas-powered vehicle and drive home and be like, man, I can't believe I only took a half a tank of gas to do that drive. So I now have another half a tank, which is another couple of days. With an electric car, at a full charge from my house, driving to Austin, I will need to charge when I get to Austin to make it back. I also can't just drive home on a 10% or 20% or 30% charge and then pretend like I don't have it. I have to go home with a full charge so that I can make it from my home to the next charging station, if you understand what I'm getting at. So you do a lot of forgiving. You do a lot of placating. You say, oh, it's not that big of a deal. Oh, I don't mind that. But when you go back to a gas-powered car, you realize the true annoyances of an electric vehicle. My other problem with the Tesla, which is my biggest problem, I'm a music guy. I love turning on the music and jamming out. One of the things that I realize about my truck and my Honda Accord is that if I turn on the music is on. Nothing interferes with that. I won't hear a police siren. I won't hear a ding that the car is making to let me know I got low air pressure, or that this is not right, or that I'm low on gas, or blah, 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 blah. Driving a Tesla specifically, because I haven't driven any other electric vehicles, driving a Tesla specifically is like driving a 1984 vehicle, and I mean George Orwell's 1984. You feel like you're being watched. You feel like Big Brother is paying attention to everything that's going on in your car, from the cameras filming you to the cameras filming what's going on around you, which is a nice kind of an option if people are lying, but you can't be the liar. You're forced to tell the truth. You can't say, hey, he hit me, because it's on film. Who hit who, right? With electric cars, every little thing requires a bell or a notification sound, and you can't turn those things off, that interrupts your music. So let's use Bohemian Rhapsody as an example. Let's say it's getting ready to do the famous kick-in that they used in Wayne's World. And everybody's getting ready to go. If you get too close to a car, ding, the music turns off. And then it takes a second to come back on again. Every little thing, be it your seatbelt not being applied, be it anything, getting too close to a car, low tire pressure, any little bell or whistle that lets you know what's going on, and there's a lot in electric cars, will turn your music off. I hated that. That was so frustrating for me because I'm a big music person and I get very, very emotional and big goosebumps from my favorite songs. And to have that moment ruined on a daily basis by a big brother vehicle that feels the need to tell me everything and turn everything else off to do that. So that's the others. The conveniences of an electric car, the bonuses. Of course, my God, I wasn't spending any money. I mean, now that I'm back into the gas world, I realize that the cars are noisier. They're so much more weak in the sense of horsepower. And when you hit that gas pedal, it's almost like you go in reverse for a second compared to how quickly your car takes off with a Tesla. I mean, you cannot compare another car on the road to an electric car. There's a reason why Ferrari and Porsche and all those car companies are making electric cars, because they got to compete. So there are a lot of bells and whistles that are good and a lot of bells and whistles that are bad about owning an electric vehicle. And the same goes for owning a gas-powered vehicle. I do like being able to have a full tank, go home, and not have to worry about anything to do with refueling or recharging for days and days and days. That's something that electric cars haven't quite perfected yet. So I think what I'm going to say is electric cars are awesome, but I don't think we're ready yet. I don't think the availability of charging stations is there, the speed of charging, or the amount of energy that a battery can hold. Those are all the things that are the most important aspects of owning an electric car, but they're not there yet. What is there is the amount of money you save. A lot of times when you buy an electric car, you can get a deal that gives you free charging for like a year or free charging for 2 years. Remember that. That's one of your best bargaining tools. What you're going to get out of it. Why would I want to buy this electric car? There's so many other great options out there. Oh, I'll get free charging. Oh, there's no smells, no oils, no fluids except for window wiper fluid. All of that stuff. That's the beauty of an electric car. They're also extremely simple on the inside. You either love your bells and whistles, your gadgets and your buttons and your levers and your lights and all that stuff. You either love that or you hate it. If you hate it, you're going to love having nothing but a computer screen in the car, because that's what electric cars basically are. It's just a big computer, giant touch screen for you to do everything. Even forward, reverse, drive, everything. It's all swiping on that screen. I realized that I missed all my dials and levers and buttons and all the lights, and I just love all of that stuff about my Honda Accord Special Edition Sport. It's just, I don't know. You spend a lot of money on something, you want to feel like you're getting your money's worth every time you get in and out of the vehicle, right? All right, I hope that gives you a little bit of insight on owning a gas versus an electric car. I love having both. I never really complained about having my electric car until I got rid of it. So that says something on its own, that you will convince yourself that the electric car is awesome. And the reason you do that is because there are so many things about it that are not as good as a gas-powered car. Thanks for watching. Holy mackerel, 9-minute video. Woo!